What up, squad? What's poppin'? Welcome to another episode of Grouped. Alright, we landed on a hot one here. It's crazy how when people think people ain't looking, or that people ain't gonna be able to see the way they act. And I guess we're all guilty of it, including our government. This reporter right here deserves like an actual badge of reporting, because you don't get that nowadays. In these news organizations, they do not report. They don't report. They just give you their opinions. And you know, if this was any other reporter, like it would just be opinionated. This gentleman just reported what he's seen. Let's get right into it. Y'all ready? Y'all about to see some stuff. All right, let's go.
When federal agents seize cash at airports across the country, we rarely get a look at what happens next. Sometimes that's an interrogation. Tonight, we're getting a look at one of those interrogations that happened here inside the Raleigh airport last year, where a federal agent seized $115,000 from a passenger. That interrogation quickly turned into the federal agent looking to make a deal.
I'm like, I just got robbed. I can't believe I just got robbed, like, without a gun. Like, I've been robbed before, but, like, you know, without no gun. Like, just, it was the nicest robbery ever.
Ramon Lyons strolled through the Raleigh airport last June to hop on a flight to California. He had $115,000 in his luggage.
It's so funny that he says that. I gotta post up a clip of 50 Cent saying the same thing. He explained the way, you know, how there's thugs in every aspect of life. There's thugs that are by force with guns and this, and there's thugs that manipulate and use laws, and they do it with a smile on their face. And he was saying something about, at least in the street, you get the courtesy of knowing you're being robbed. There's a gun in your face and you get the, you know, you know what's going on. You feel it and you go through the motions. Where in other situations, especially in like blue collar, stuff like that, white collar, blue collar, whatever you want to call it, you end up feeling the effects later, and you're like, where'd everything go? And then there's nobody, you know what I mean? It's like, you look around and you're by yourself with nothing. It's crazy. Like, I'm going to post a little clip of that up.
You know, how they're structuring the actual deal and things that they're doing. It's like just taking the money for you. Look, robbery, at least it will give you the courtesy of showing you the gun, so you can have those anxieties and feel those feelings that you would feel when you're being robbed. They'll do it on a piece of paper where you feel nothing. And just rob you right there. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's the same tactics with a different approach. And a lot of them, the people that do this comfortably, like handing the contract, the thing that they're not conditioned for is direct conflict. Mm-hmm. And that the circumstances I grew under, I absolutely have to be prepared for it. Like the fighters, they look good after they have 8 weeks of training and they focus their mind for 8 weeks straight. You got 8 seconds in the street. You got 8 seconds to adjust and do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? It's not like it's gonna be, we can go home and think about the fight before you run into the person. I don't know, like a lot of it, each thing that you put up against, right, is how you adjust to things too, I think, when.
But let's keep getting into it.
Cash, he says he had to purchase machines for his gaming business in Raleigh. Airport surveillance video shows the TSA screened Lyons' luggage, then grabbed his bag after an x-ray revealed cash inside. The TSA officer walked Lyons' bag to a table where a Raleigh airport officer joined in. like thousands of others who have had their money seized in an airport. Lyon didn't know at the time the TSA was on the line with a federal agent.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
How you doing?
Good.
Lyon landed in an airport interrogation room. Officers and the TSA searched his bags there and photographed the cash inside. An hour and a half later,
Mr. Lyon, the detective's here to chat with you.
Raleigh-Durham Airport police officer Aaron Woodliff walked in. Woodliff, a civilian airport officer at times,
Man, he pull out like 10 badges.
becomes a Fed when he needs to.
How does that happen?
CFOs get silver badges. We don't get the cool guy on gold badges. So, task force officers. So we're duly sworn. It's kind of crazy. We got jurisdiction beyond our normal property when we need to.
Woodliff questioned Lyon about his trip, why he didn't have a return ticket, and why he did not have a hotel booked in California. Mentioning no other evidence, the agent told Lyon he wasn't leaving with his money.
I think there's probably some legitimacy to your claim, but based on just some of these findings, I'm going to seize your money under administrative seizure for Homeland Security, and we're going to give you about 60 days to come up with an appeal. You receive the stuff in the mail, and the U.S. Attorney's Office will be giving you a chance to provide legitimacy for your money. It's just something that feels like there's something more here. You got a last minute purchase on your ticket, you don't have any accommodation. It's just odd. Nothing's wrong with it, but I just feel it's odd.
Agent Woodliff told Lyon he planned to open one or more federal investigations into his personal life, his business and finances, and he'd get search warrants for his cell phones.
Wow. And here's the thing, just because somebody doesn't want you to go through those things doesn't mean they're guilty of anything. I mean, think about it. He can have a proclivity, you know what I'm saying, and watches a lot of porno. He can be the type of person that, is into some weird shit, but doesn't make him a criminal, just makes him a weirdo. He can be into stuff that, people might not think is, just anything. It could be anything in his cell phone that he don't want you to know about. It could be plans to his future that, or it could be just anything that you hold of privacy. You know what I'm saying? So there could be multiple reasons why, somebody would, I'm not saying him, I'm just saying just in general, would say, wow, so you can see where they kind of get you in this catch-22. Let's go.
But then offered Lyon a way to buy out of those federal
What?
investigations.
We do have abandonment forms here as well. If you choose to forego the seizure of the phones and any investigation, you can walk away from that
Wait.
money.
Let me
Those
read
federal
that.
investigations.
We do have abandonment forms here
We have abandonment forms here as well.
as well. If you choose to forego the seizure of the phones and any investigation.
Okay, so after he says he's going to do all of this to scare him, he then turns around and says, if you choose to forego the seizure of phone and investigation, you can do that. Just got to walk away from the money, buddy. And I would say that would be a pretty good deal if you was up to no good. And you know what I'm saying? You was trying not to get the, I would say that'd be a pretty good deal. But damn well if they felt like he was up to no good, there would be no way. They're just robbing him. And they know that this tactic's going to work on a civilian that can't, you don't know how he got that money. He could have got it from here, could have got it from there, could have got it, from all different ways. But doesn't have receipts or anything to prove it. And it's a lot of money, but I mean, it's not crazy.
You can walk away from that money. I don't know. Those are all your options.
Those are all your options. Leon, hold on.
Those are all your options. I'm going to seize the money, but if you want to walk away from a federal investigation that's linked to the money, those are your options.
Wow, so he's going to seize it anyway, he's saying. But if you want to walk away from the federal investigation, you need to sign something over saying that you no longer want that money back.
If we do a federal investigation, I'll probably end up figuring out your favorite color, your favorite food. We're looking at your bank account, that kind of thing.
See, this is what I'm trying to say. You see the tactic he used? That was so slimy. Well, if we do the federal investigation, you know, we're going to end up finding out your favorite color, your favorite food, if you like to dress in women's clothes at night, you know, if you hang to the left, if you hang to the right. Are you serious? You know, so what he's trying to say, because we all have stuff that obviously is personal and we don't expect to ever happen, this to happen. So, I mean, you know, you never know what his situation is, why he doesn't want that being open, or if he wants it being open. But he's trying to use the bully tactic, like, we're going to know everything about you. Do you really want that to happen? I mean, I just said we can find out your favorite color, bro. And they really could. They really could. But this doesn't sound like a seizure anymore. This doesn't sound like he's fighting crime anymore. This sounds like he a hustler. This sounds like he just jacked him. He's jacking him politely.
That's just, it's another scare tactic that they use to get you to do what they want you to do.
To give up that money
To
without
give
a
up
fight.
that money without a fight. Yeah, sign right here and walk out the door.
If it appears that government agents are asking people to sign over money to avoid a federal investigation, essentially sign this money over to us and we'll pretend this never happened, how is that fighting crime?
It's not.
William Pruden,
Facts.
an asset forfeiture attorney in Raleigh, represents Ramon Lyon and Cody James. Pruden says these seizures put innocent people in an impossible spot, having to prove to the government they're not criminals. In all of the cases that you've handled where currency has been seized at an airport, how many of your cases resulted in a criminal prosecution?
None.
Not a single one.
None of my civil asset forfeiture cases, even outside of airport.
Wow.
That appears to be the norm. Homeland Security data shows in the more than 30,000 cash seizures between 2000 and 2016, prosecutors filed a criminal action in less than 10% of those cases. In court filings, the feds attempted to connect Lyon to a California to the Carolinas drug trafficking investigation. But the government never claimed Lyon was the subject of that investigation. Only that the amount of money he had, how he packed it into his bags, along with having 2 cell phones, was consistent with the drug trafficking techniques. Lyon says he knew he wasn't leaving with his cash as soon as agents pulled his criminal record. Lyon
How does it look like drug packing techniques? He didn't even try to hide it. He left it there where they could see it. It was, look, does this look like drug packing techniques? It's not in any liner or any lining. You would think you'd put it in that thing, that round thing that goes around your neck. You'd think that, I can understand. That looks like you're hiding it. That's in clear sight. It's inside the bag where when they scan it, they're going to see it. So you could tell he obviously didn't think he was doing anything wrong. It's not hidden in any departments. That right there shows guilt of some sort. But the way he has it right there, just in that little knot, nah. He ain't trying to conceal nothing.
cash as soon as agents pulled his criminal record. Lyon has a criminal record
hate
dating
when they
back
do
to
this.
1993, a record littered with multiple felony drug convictions,
Yup.
weapons charges, and eluding arrest. But
All right, so that right there, that's what's bullshit, because that be happening to me all the time. And the thing about it is my convictions are over 15 years old, and it's like, you really still use those? Like, if I'm still selling drugs, I'd be in jail or I would have come across the law somehow. You are not going to go 15 years without getting so much as a brush with the law, as so much as a ticket or something. You know what I'm saying? You are going to be, but 15 years, nothing. So, it's just, I can't stand it. I can't stand how they use your record as, oh, you're guilty or you're not guilty. I can't stand it. You know how many people that don't have records that are guilty as shit and you guys let go all the time just because there's nothing on paper? It's sickening. You know how many cops you guys hire because they have no record and they're guilty as shit? Yet I'd probably be a more honest worker than they would. Like, seriously, that law needs to change. If you screw up when you're young, like, dude, you're young. If you ever got in trouble in 10 years, 15 years, you most likely ain't going back to that.
But his last convictions happened a decade ago.
Once he saw
Thank
that I had
you.
a record, it was just open game. I was open game for him. He was like, I'm about to have a field day with this guy.
Despite the
Yep.
rap sheet, Agent Woodliff wanted to make Ramon Lyon a deal.
Done this. Nobody from the U.S. Attorney's Office will contact you, and we won't be seeking any type of investigation.
You know what's that to give up 115 racks? Are you bugging? And I don't care. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't make it illegally, then I wouldn't care. I'd try to find every which receipt that I needed, every little thing. I don't care. Yeah, maybe he didn't file some taxes when he, was making some of that money. That probably could be a case. But so what? Pay all of that. Take the hit on it. But do not let them take your money. I don't care if it takes where you got to get your money back and then pay them all back. At least you give it back to them when you want. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them do that, bro. Don't let them just take it from you. You can't just take from them when they owe you. You can't just walk up to the federal government and say, hey, you know what? You haven't paid me, the extra that I paid you in taxes that I purposely set my way up like that so that at the end of the year, I can always get something back. So it's like a bank account. I use you as kind of like a bank account. So at the end of the year, I claim zero at the beginning of the year. And then at the end of the year, I claim my kids. But I do it purposely so you guys take more out up front and then have to give me some in the back. But when you guys are late on that, I can't just come up and demand my money right then and there. I can't get all the interest and everything right then and there. So it should go both ways. But yeah, you can just take it from me whenever you want. That's just wrong, man.
It ends when we focus on that.
The investigative tactics displayed in this video have caused law firms like Dan Albin's to sue, to force the government to prove its allegations before taking things that don't
Facts.
belong to it. Is it more about fighting crime, or is the outcome more about scooping up this money and somewhere along the way the original intent has been lost?
This is definitely about raising revenue and not about fighting crime.
I mean, I knew they was going to see it, but I didn't think like I said, I didn't think I was doing anything wrong.
15 months
I can
later,
tell.
federal prosecutors have not charged Ramon Lyon with a crime.
What did you
Original
say?
intent has been lost.
This is definitely about raising revenue and not about fighting crime.
I mean, I knew they was going to see it, but I didn't think like I said, I didn't think I was doing anything wrong.
15 months later, federal prosecutors
Wow. Almost a year and a half later.
have not charged Ramon Lyon with a crime, but still have his money. Did they accuse you of being
That
tied
ain't
to
right,
money
bro.
laundering?
So now this is he's trying to open up a business. And oh man, that's gonna suck, bro. All that money, he's probably like hurting right now. He probably had a plan. That's why I say always, oh man.
Drug trafficking?
Yeah.
Did they prove it?
No.
Are you being prosecuted?
No.
What's going on here?
I got robbed. They just robbed me. That's what's going on.
He's not getting the
Not a
money back.
single agency conducting these seizures would talk with us about them. Homeland Security did send us a statement saying its ICE investigations deal with money laundering that supports transnational criminal organizations by targeting courier networks that use the nation's airports to conceal and transport illicit proceeds. DHS, again, though, would not agree to talk with us about any of these cases. There is federal legislation that could end these seizures if the government cannot prove the people they're targeting are indeed criminals. Congressman Tim Walberg, a Michigan Republican, has once again this session introduced the Fifth Amendment Integrity Act.
Civil asset forfeiture has been used too many times to seize, forfeit, and indeed profit off the property of Americans without even charging them with crimes.
Well, this FAIR Act could eliminate these seizures for people where the government cannot provide clear and convincing evidence of a crime. But this legislation has stalled in congressional committees. Since each of these federal agencies fall under the executive branch, I asked the White House for an interview. President Biden was a co-author on this 1984 legislation that allowed these seizures, but no one...
Oh my God, it figures. Oh my God, it figures. Are you shitting me? This dude is going to go down as the worst of the worst. Like, he's just, oh my God. There is no words. He's just, oh my God, let me shut up. It figures though. It figures. It figures. It's so crazy because that's one thing that, all right, when I used to be like this huge Democrat, I never really could grasp my head around, and everybody would tell me like, bro, all that money that you have to give up, you know what I'm saying? That's Democrats doing that, this and this and that. Republicans want you to keep your money. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I never realized because I used to say that's just for the rich. That ain't for middle class and nothing. Like, that's not for hard working, man. Like, they ain't trying to help me out. Nothing. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. Some tax laws were screwed. Some tax laws weren't. But in this situation, you already see the proof is in the pudding. Somebody's actually trying to do something about it, and they're not a Democrat, and that's not fair. Like, you're getting ripped off, and it's right in front of your face, and you're supposed to say, yeah, keep doing it to me, keep doing that to me. It's just sad, man. It's just sad. It could be any race, any age, anybody. If you ain't got the big bucks to, you know what I mean? It's just sad, bro. And I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, well, why is he carrying that much on him? Why is he doing this? Man, there could be a million reasons, bro. A million reasons. It doesn't matter. There's no crime committed.
No one in the Biden administration would agree to interview with us. From the Raleigh-Durham International Airport, I'm Jody Barr.
Incredible investigation. And Jody has put together a more in-depth article online. You can find surveillance videos and the TSA's response on fox46.com.
Wow, that's dope. Anyways, hey, man, you guys want more of this content? Make sure you put it in the comments. Please comment, subscribe, thumbs up the video. You want to see more of this content? That's just crazy. What are your thoughts on the whole scandal? I think that that's just like a ripoff, man. That's just a money grab right there. It's like, yo, what we're going to do is we're going to take money from people that don't know no better, because that's a bullying tactic. Is you're using knowledge and you're using fear as a tactic. It's no different than sticking a gun in somebody's face and saying, give me your money. Just because they're doing it in a nicer way does not make them any less of a thug. Sorry. There's no difference. You're ripping people off of their hard-earned money, and that is wrong. Plain and simple. Don't matter how if you take what is not yours as a gain, and then you hurt somebody in the process, it doesn't have to be physically. You're hurting them, you're hurting them financially in whatever way. At somebody else's expense. If you've taken something at somebody else's expense that you didn't earn, and now they are going to be, in a situation because of it, it's a crime. And it should be. But just because you're doing it in a polite way, and there's no gun involved, and there's no, there is intimidation. There is intimidation tactics, though. There might not be no gun, but there's a subliminal one. Anyways, that being said, the original link to this video will be in the description below. Go over there, check it out, get them views up. Take it easy. God bless. Good night. Peace.